Hey, so I went to the grocery store today, and I'm getting my hair done tomorrow.
Sandy, it's Tuesday. Smart Doll News.
Oh! Give me a second to think about that. I'm Sandy.
And I'm John.
And this is my Lady Disdain.
Welcome to the Smart Doll News on My Lady Disdain. Hello to the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
We were talking last week about changing things up. I did a survey. I'm not ready to announce a change in the time this week, but hopefully you should be noticing some changes in the quality of the stream and a little bit of the formatting tonight. We did a little bit extra prep work. I don't know why I'm taking on more work, but hopefully it is all for the benefit of you guys and you'll appreciate it. Before we dig in though, I want to do a couple of shout outs.
Couple of shout outs. I'm hearing that Rebecca is getting her first doll on Friday. She's getting Prowess.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Really good to see, people hanging out, getting to know us, getting to know Smart Doll, and then diving in finally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
Pretty sure it's been a long road for you, if I remember correctly. Again, congratulations.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out. Janice is in the chat as well, joining us from the UK, and it's midnight there right now. So,
yeah.
thank you so much for staying up with us.
Yeah, midnight on Wednesday. Or Tuesday? Tuesday. Midnight on Tuesday. Yeah.
Well, technically, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday for you now, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I love that people will make that effort to join us.
Yeah, on the lunch breaks and things too.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
We appreciate,
nice.
of course, the effort you put in to join us, and of course, want to give that right back to you. So
I had to take
love you
the
guys.
sweater off. I am roasting.
Is it T-shirt parade?
Well, yeah. If you're not watching Akebi's sailor uniform, you really should be watching it.
It is very cute.
It's very cute. Love the show.
We are watching it on Crunchyroll. I'm not sure what other streaming services it's on.
And what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Secret Society blanket shirt from what was it, Eurocamp?
Eurocamp, yeah. We love that show. So excited that there's actually going to be another season eventually.
Yep. Another quick shout out from the chat. Andrea from Brazil, and of course, Alyssa from Tokyo. Love to see our international crowd. Shall we dig in?
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit to talk about.
Yes, there is. And we are a little bit more thorough, but I think I'm more organized, so we'll be able to get through it quicker. I do want to mention to all the people watching this in the replay, if you want to get the full experience, do join us live. All right, let's dig into the news for this week. We have a pretty expected, news announcement, and it was like the morning after our last news, right?
Yeah, I don't know how we missed that. We had it up on our big TV.
We were staring at this girl going, what do those lips look like? What are those? And we completely missed the fact.
Completely missed her nose.
Yep, and this is, of course, Semi-Real Fortitude. She looks fantastic. Got a couple of different shots of her. So she is coming down the pipeline. It sounded kind of imminent. He said T Fortitude is a favorite of his and will remain a frontline girl, but he wanted to see what she's going to look like in Semi-Real. But she is probably a ways off. If you notice, he does say what's happening next. This is the master that we're looking at. The master has to go for electroplating and basically gets destroyed in the process.
Right.
So this girl is going to go away and she's going to change slightly because she's going to actually shrink a bit in this process and end up being a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. But this happens with every girl.
And I don't know if she's in the chat with us tonight or not. I didn't see, but I wanted to reassure you guys that as far as I know, Magical Girl Kit Kat has not exploded yet.
It was touch and go there for a minute.
But as far as I know, she is still in her full state and has not dispersed into the universe.
Yeah. Now, this is a little bit interesting because she is awfully similar to Future, who's your favorite girl.
Yeah, Future's my girl. Yeah, she's very similar. I mean, she has her eyebrows are thicker.
Everything's thicker. She got those thick
yeah.
black eye makeup.
Yeah, so I mean, she is different, but it's just a similar. I mean, I wouldn't refuse her if someone put her in front of me and said, "Do you want semi-real fortitude?" But she's so similar. She's the same type of girl.
Yeah.
As Future, so it's like hard for me to justify getting her. But man, she is cute.
The other big story is something that we've seen teased a little bit here and there. We actually have some more pictures from his stories and his timeline that we'll show in a minute, but he has officially figured out how to create burn scarring on the dolls. Mm-hmm. This sort of marbling process that he's figured out that looks pretty well like, you know, burn scarring.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. I commented on his post on this, like I talked about my cousin last week and how she was burned over like a good chunk of her body. And I just think that this is so important because I remember even though I loved my cousin very, very much, and I saw her as a person, of course, there was still that element of my cousin is a little bit different. I mean, that was my childhood.
Sure.
You know, and so, like, I just think it's really important for people who have this scarring to have dolls like this to represent them, for kids who don't have it to see them and see that, you know, these people can be represented this way too. Yep. I think it's just really important, and so I'm really excited about it.
Technically, I'm very impressed with what he's able to pull off here in a pretty reliable way. On his announcement, you just getting shots of Genesis with freckles, with the burn scarring. But we'll show you in a minute, like, some of the variety of the heads and stuff that he's been working on.
Yeah, it's a really cool effect that he's able to get the two vinyls to sit there without mixing.
Yeah. Abby says all the dolls would be different, no marbling would be the same, and you're absolutely right.
Just like the people's scarring won't be the same. You can also see, just while we're on this picture, that's the Mori Girl shirt.
Right, that is the new Mori Girl shirt that we saw last week. That sort of sagey green fabric. Mm-hmm. Love it off the shoulder there. That is the big news here, right? The rest is just pictures that Janny likes to post on Twitter, on his Instagram stories. So we're going to take a look through some of those, and I've actually tried to organize them a little bit for you tonight, starting with the burn scarring. So this is some of the extra photos that he actually put out of his attempts, and you can see here
very different.
Two very different. I'm not sure if these are like older ones, but yeah, just really, really quite interesting.
Can you get that other shot back where we can see her lip? Like, does the scarring go through her lip?
I can go here. Yeah, it'll go through her lips. It'll go all over.
Yes, you can see it. I didn't know that if once they painted it, if they were covering up the burn scarring, but no, they're leaving it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see here, it's on the edge of the lip. It starts to get covered up by the coloration of the lip a little bit. That's just naturally going to happen. So here we have a whole bunch of heads. This really is amazing to me how vastly different yet it's a very similar effect. It looks really cool.
He talked about, as I said before, he talked about the process of the fact that those are liquids and they don't blend into a different shade of pink.
Right.
They stay separate, which is very cool.
So here we have the head and the bust. Magic Durgan said that supposedly he said that they were going to do the full body eventually. If he's going to do this, he kind of has to do it. What I'm interested in is less of what he's able to do and more of how is he going to sell it or give it to people. Mm-hmm. Assumedly, you have burns, you request burn scarring, you get burn scarring for free. Follow the same sort of tactics that he's been using.
But this is going to be a whole doll.
Though the question is do you get to request parts?
Right.
You know, will he allow them to request? Because it's extra work.
Right.
But I feel like he should, if he's going to do this, and he probably would, knowing him, spend the extra effort to give somebody the arm and the bust.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Like, I don't have any scarring anywhere else. I just want one that has it on the arm and the bust.
Yeah.
Right.
The next is something a little new. Damage sweater. You may wonder why I call this damage sweater. It's because I'm pretty sure this is what Danny calls it. This is the damage sweater.
It's got laddering.
This is very cool. Really interested to see the techniques that he's adding to his distressing that they're doing. But we can actually see the plans for it, and it's called damage sweater up here. And he's got plans for where the laddering is.
People who knit know how laddering works. A stitch slips and then or breaks, and then it causes a run that goes all the way down through. So the thread that is holding is just dropping back. This could get worse if it's not stitched closed. So it must have something in there that is holding it in place once it has laddered to a certain point. They must have, like, fed the stitch back in and stitched it down, or done something, tied it off somehow to keep it from running further.
I mean, by the looks of this, I don't know.
I think they must have. They must have tied off the knot, like, in the back and to get it to...
I think there's a certain amount that Danny would be willing to accept of, like, you know, you gotta be careful with this one. There's a lot of those, you know, the post-apocalyptic stuff that if you catch a thumb on, you're gonna tear a run in there.
Magic Durgan here says, I would get a CJ inhaler so freaking quickly.
I always wonder, like, what are the other ways that Danny would be inclusive of, I guess, disabilities, any sort of issues that people have. I always think about, like, you know, what about the invisible, disorders and things? What about, mental health and things like that?
Right, we talked about that, yeah.
And of course, he has his stories and stuff, but yeah, that's where, like, people like Comey, people who represent things like that, I think are really important. And still, please, Danny, like, this is, I don't know, we're going to do, like, the week count. We should start up a counter.
How many weeks we've been asking
for Comey.
Yeah.
We'll make, like, a Comey watch. It's been, 8 weeks, no Comey.
Yeah, help us out, guys, too. Like, if you're commenting on something and Danny's asking, like,
where's Comey?
Doll? Say, where's Comey?
Where's Comey?
Sandy wants Comey.
We all want Comey. Come on, be realistic. Don't lie to yourself. Pretty cool. We'll keep our eye out for this. I'm sure we'll be seeing lots of pictures of this in the weeks to come. Considering how long things take to develop, we'll see this in like 6 months, something like that.
Well, I mean, I think we've seen this before. Like, I mean, maybe there was a prototype or something floating around, but I think we've been seeing this for a while.
I do not remember that at all, but that does not mean anything. We've got the damaged sweater, and the other new thing, sort of new-ish, we haven't officially, I don't think, identified it as new, is a new girl. We've seen a face floating around, possibly before this week, but a couple photos this week. We've got this very obviously 3D print head on a cinnamon body. It's kind of funny to see the base, 3D print heads.
Yeah, the skin tone difference is quite prominent.
Yeah. She's very cute. I don't know if she's a particular, it ain't Comey. I know that.
No.
So I don't know what who she is yet. Do you have any ideas?
No, I'm stumped.
We also have, is this her as well? Or is this another?
No, it's a different girl. That looks like it's the Chitose sculpt.
Oh yeah. It's a Chitose sculpt. I think we've seen this before. And it's a sort of like serious, angry Chitose sculpt or something. It's weird. This is a little bit tougher. Obviously, it's much smaller in the photo, so we can't get a good look at it. So we'll keep our eye out for this. If anyone has seen these girls before, you have an idea of who they are, let us know. And tell us what you think of her.
She has those nice thick lashes, that dark lash line. It's very cute.
Yep. Before we move on to our next section, we're going to get into like updates on licensed dolls. I do want to take a moment to say, hey, are you enjoying this stream? Are you finding it useful? If you like watching the Smart Doll News, give the video a like and help us spread this to more people. And it really means a lot to us.
It really does.
And if you want to, of course, get more involved, join us as we live stream each week. The time may be changing, so stay tuned for that. You can always get the most up-to-date info about what we're doing on our Discord server. So be sure to join that if you haven't already at myladydisdain.com/Discord. It's a great community, a lot of really helpful people, and I just love watching like all the photos and the projects that people are working on, and
you get more info from us there too. We talk about our projects more and things that we're doing, and I even posted an extra little video, like a little tips video the other day.
Yeah, they wrangled you into
Well, we were talking about fabrics, and we got to talking about Liberty London's Tanalan and how wonderful it is, and I was trying to explain the difference, but like how much nicer it is.
Yeah.
And so I basically went upstairs and filmed a little video showing the fabrics like really up close so you could see the weave, and draped it on the dolls. So that was just for the people in the Discord.
We're gonna schedule our next like hangout night.
Yeah, we gotta do that. And I need to have a sewing meetup too. So guys, pester me for a sewing meetup because we have to figure it out.
So I'm actually gonna say it right now. We're gonna do a hangout, not this weekend, but the weekend after next. I will put up a date tonight in Discord, and we'll play some games or just hang out and chat and get to know each other more. Shall we dig back into some licensed girls?
Who could we be talking about?
And there's well, girls, yeah. I meant dolls, but there's only one girl in the licensed lineup right now, and that is Batgirl. We feel like Batgirl's getting
Really close.
Really close. Like, this is happening. I think it's March. He's probably gonna give us at least a week notice if we go by Supergirl. Hopefully a little bit more. And I think it's coming up. And here's why.
We saw this wig being worked on in the last news.
Yep.
And we never said, hey, that looks like Batgirl's wig.
Quite honestly, you get so many updates, you know, it's like we skip a lot of stuff sometimes. So here I'm just kind of putting all the updates that we believe are about that together. So we've seen 2 styling pictures in the last week about doing Batgirl's wig. I mean, it's gorgeous. It is.
That color, oh, so beautiful.
And then we've got more pictures of her uniform coming together. I was impressed when we got Supergirl with how like everything was put together. Very similarly here, you've got the pants and everything neatly tucked in.
Arms folded behind the back neatly.
Yep.
And then seeing it all packed in the bag. I just found it very amusing that Danny must have thought, nobody got it. Nobody commented that that was Supergirl's wig. So here, 3 pictures in a row. Batgirl's wig. The Batgirl costume. The Batgirl costume again.
Batgirl.
This, you guys missed that. That was Batgirl's wig.
We're pretty sure March. I don't think she's landing in the next 2 weeks, although I'd be happy to be wrong. I'm feeling pretty strongly about March.
Yeah, I think March sounds probably pretty reasonable.
Which of course keeps us in our Q1 prediction.
Yeah. We could be totally wrong and things always get delayed. Danny could be thinking March and then it could end up being April. We have no idea.
All right. Death Note update.
We were right.
Well, I mean, it's just more of the same, but as if you needed more, Danny has drawn Light Yagami's hair onto the sculpt here and the face up and everything, which I think is hilarious.
Does anybody else hope we're going to get the scarlet red wig and the red eyes at least as an option?
So in the show, whenever they sort of pit L against Light, they sort of colorize L's hair as blue. It's like blue versus red.
Right. It's really just like anytime we see the true evil in Light, he goes red-eyed and then eventually red-haired. I just think that would be really fun. I know it's just an artistic choice, but I think it would be really a fun thing to have.
I don't think he would do it, but you could so easily do it yourself. You know,
it'd be a cool signature though. Like you could have like if you put it into an eye cradle, you could very easily have this way of telling your significant other like don't get too close.
John's in a mood. Look at his Yagami.
That's an awful red Yagami.
Oh, that's gross. So another couple. We just keep getting pictures of the 3D modeling of the sculpt. This one sort of threw me at first. I was like, what is with this weird pirate thing? But I'm pretty sure this is just the modeling of an eyeball in an eye socket.
Gotcha.
Of Yagami. This is still Yagami.
Like, does it fit kind of thing.
So this is still definitely Yagami. It's a very odd looking picture, but I don't think there's much actually interesting going on here.
I wonder if we're gonna get L too. I mean, like I said, I wanted Misa, but I mean, it just seems weird to get Light and not L.
Yeah, L is would be a very cool sculpt, but here's the problem. I would be always disappointed in a Smart Doll L because he can't raise his knees up and sit like L sits.
Well, we don't know. I mean, maybe he can. There's all kinds of new things being worked on.
Maybe, but actually...
Maybe he's built like that.
I probably would get an L because I picked up the double jointed knees to put in a doll.
The doll fun.
The doll fun knees and the hip joint. After modding Haku's body,
You have no fear anymore?
I was just like, I'm just gonna go and do this. Like, I think that is it for Yagami. Next up, a couple of small Naruto updates.
Yes.
Here's our semi-real fortitude. Instantly, the Discord started getting like pinged with people being like, Naruto's in the picture! Naruto's in the picture! Of course, there he is, up and back. And there was one other Naruto related, not really a Naruto spotting, but a related picture. And that is this picture. Can anyone tell me why this is Naruto related?
Is that some company that is part of it?
No, that's a company, I think. Although, I'm not sure what the Phoenixism is. But I can tell you right now, this...
Oh, I didn't see those down there until you started to move the mouse. Yeah.
That is the symbol for the Uzumaki clan. That's Naruto's clan. And you can see that.
It's on his arm.
Yep. Up on his arm up here. They're doing a bunch of fabrics. You can see the orange fabric here. Mm-hmm. Sort of a rusty orange.
Yeah, it's more of a rust color, yeah.
This I find interesting. Used bikini.
I want to say that is they used one of those colors. They used M101 for bikini.
Yep. That is your Naruto update. Nothing much. I still think we're a ways off. That's not to say he can't just be like teasing us with Batgirl for months on end and then just drop something else out of nowhere.
Right.
Who knows? I'm convinced Danny is Fae. He is just mercurial, he is chaos.
He's Oberon.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Tabby boots.
Yeah, we got a little more detailing on those.
Yeah, so we've been seeing this come through and going, they're making like a physical thing. Now they've actually 3D printed like this shoe, this foot
It's
sort
a
of
last.
thing.
It's what you build the shoe around.
Right. So, and that's what I didn't quite realize. So this is what is going to allow them to make a shoe that is going to be shaped the right way, that a regular foot's going to fit into. Mm-hmm. It's got to be long enough to allow the foot to go in and still have enough room for like the toes. So these are going to be a little bit longer, and I'm sure he's struggling. I don't know about struggling, but one of the challenges that he's got to have with this is how to make it look right and not clown shoe-like, because he's not going to cut off the feet. And unless he's making special shoes that are like new feet, mm-hmm. which I don't think he is, unless he's doing that, he's going to have to make these look good and have some, a foot fit inside.
Right.
So you can start to see the full shoe and then the cut in mm-hmm. of the toes. And my assumption is that a regular foot has to stop here.
There. Yeah. It would have to stop where that cut in goes, unless he works it out. I mean, the most he can get is that space after the big toe.
The only other option here is, again, making shoe feet like Naruto has.
Right.
Naruto has special feet that are his shoes. I know there's some perspective play happening here, but what's up with those scissors? Those are tiny.
Yeah.
Those are like the size of a doll foot. Am I nuts?
I didn't even think about that, but they're
look, there's a pin cushion.
Oh, those are regular scissors. They're snips. They're thread snip scissors, but the way it's set up, it's like
they just look like elf
tiny.
Scissors.
Yeah.
Here's the 3D modeling of the shoe. You can see here kind of like an idea for like what it might look like, mm-hmm. the way he's kind of made this texture here. All right, mech body. It's been showing up. Nothing new or overly interesting. Just he's got it on his wallpapers. There, the other side of the body.
Looking very what's her name? Ironheart?
Yeah, that works. And then the frame that we've been talking about, that all that's based on. Still watching, waiting, and that does it.
That's everything, huh?
Let's take a look at the chat. If you guys have any questions or things you want to point out, go ahead and throw them in the chat. We'll do a little question segment before we wrap up. First question. Sandy, when is
The sewing hangout. We have to figure out when we want to do that.
Probably your best bet is to just throw up a time.
Maybe on the weekend.
Yeah.
I think it'll be mostly open hangout. I may come with like some sort of little discussion topic. People were asking if sewing hangout could include knitting. You can craft basically whatever you want. We may be talking about sewing mostly, but you're welcome to craft in whatever way that you like and share.
Even if it's a topic you're remotely interested in, pop in and hang out. Seac Ranch says, any new t-shirts coming out for you guys? Technically, no.
But we've got a bajillion ideas.
Yeah.
We just have to do them.
Right now, we are working on some new graphics and imaging for the channel that will hopefully be incorporated in the coming month, and that may make its way to t-shirts.
You guys need a Smart Doll News t-shirt? Those of you who hang out with us every single Tuesday?
If we did a Smart Doll News t-shirt, literally, do you want the Smart Doll News logo? Or is there something, there's no catchphrase or anything. Like, oh, we did have the whole, like, why, Danny, why?
What is that in the background t-shirt?
No, wait, no. Can you zoom and enhance? He said, what kind of mobility aids do you think it would be possible for Danny to make?
There's obviously the wheelchair, which he has always had on his brain, and he has not been able to come up with the right design yet. He has actually said that is in there. It's just getting the right version.
I think it's happening, and my bet is the mecha guy designs it.
Yeah, and it's going to be like an Xavier type.
Yeah,
type
totally.
Chair.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah.
A Professor X chair.
Cerebro chair.
Yeah. Even just give it clear wheels so that it kind of looks like it's floating.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Galen says we need inhalers, EpiPens. That makes sense.
Little bottles of Adderall.
Seac Ranch says, I'm not sure if a Smart Doll body can bend at the right angle to sit correctly in a wheelchair. It depends on the wheelchair. This is like 6 or 7 inches tall and is made for the girls to sit
straight. Yeah.
Like, and to perfectly be like here, like
the leg length is a big issue. Any advice for those who are still saving for Smart Doll? I can give you the obvious stuff. I mean, there's ForPay from PayPal.
Sure.
So you could if you can use that, you can split into 4 payments with no interest.
If you have like friends and family who are going to give you anything like a birthday present,
Christmas, graduation, whatever holiday you usually get, presents for. Ask for gift cards, ask for cash in an envelope, tell people what you really want is a Smart Doll and let them give you money instead of giving you a sweater.
Try not to get caught up in the excitement of new releases. It's very easy to have anxiety about not being able to get what you want. Most of the time, the dolls are going to come back. Unless it's like a licensed doll, they're going to come back around. Save up your money, then make your decision on, what you're ready to buy. And if there's nothing, if there's nothing available yet, just keep looking out for the one you want. Robin says, try selling some things you no longer want. And that's definitely true. Like, there's Facebook Marketplace is an option. Craigslist is a little bit weirder. eBay. I always have a hard time with just the work involved in that stuff, but if you're not like ADHD like us,
we're sitting on a bunch of chaos because we just hate the process of putting things up for sale.
70 says, inevitably there are always people that have to sell their new dolls within months of buying them. Great opportunity for things that sold out fast with no restock. Just be patient. Don't get ahead of yourself. People will do that and then find themselves in a financial situation very shortly after because they acted too quickly on it.
Join Facebook groups. Make sure that you know what the secondhand market is like so that you can make a wise purchase. And if you do buy from somebody secondhand, get references.
Yeah. If you haven't checked out our most recent video, you can check it out here. We unbox the latest apparel drop from Culture Japan. It was a lot of fun. We do some try-ons and the dolls look fantastic.
Loafers.
That'll do it for us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.